Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. ఈ ప్రాబ్లం ఉందని చెప్పి guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Yeah, thank you. Right. Good morning, guys. And check it what we completed there in the last session. And what we completed in the last class. I think so we are discussing about the differences between Java and others. That part we are discussing there. In the differences between Java and others, there we started already few differences, almost all 2 differences we completed. What are the 2 differences here we completed there? The very first one, the very first difference is like what there? C and C++ are static programming languages, whereas Java is a dynamic programming language. How can you say C and C++ are static programming languages and Java is a dynamic programming language? If you have to this point, no. C and C++ are following static memory allocation, whereas Java is following dynamic memory allocation. What's the meaning of static memory allocation? No, right? If the memory allocation is going on at a compilation time, then it is called as what? Static memory allocation. So if any programming language is following static memory allocation, then that is static programming language. What is dynamic memory allocation? If the memory allocation is provided at a runtime, then that memory allocation is a dynamic memory allocation. If any programming language is following dynamic memory allocation, then the programming language is dynamic programming language. C and C++ are static programming languages. In the C and C++ applications, memory will be allocated for the data at a compilation time only. Java is a dynamic programming language. Why? Because in Java applications, memory will be allocated for the data at a runtime only. Right, sir. After that, the second important difference I discussed with you already. Preprocessor is required in C++, but preprocessor does not require in Java. Does not require in Java. See, I given already some points now. What is the location of the preprocessor I given? In the compilation, the preprocessor is the first phase. The first phase in compilation is what there? Preprocessor. Clear. In C and C++, the complete predefined library was provided in the form of header files. What are the various header files we are having there? stdio.h, conio.h, math.h. Next one, to get a predefined library from header files to C application, we have to include header files to the header files. To include header files, we have to use #include statement. #include stdio.h, #include math.h, #include conio.h. If we compile any C program, preprocessor will recognize all the #include statements. Preprocessor will take all the provided header files names. Preprocessor will go to C software, where preprocessor will search whether these header files are existed or not. If these header files are not existed, error will come. If these header files are existed inside the C software, preprocessor will load these header files content to the memory. Clear? For example, now conclusion here what there? Loading predefined library at a compilation time is called as static loading. In C and C++, preprocessor is required to recognize #include statements in order to load header files content to the memory. That's the requirement of what their preprocessor in the case of C and C++. Given some diagram here related to that C and C++ related content. Next one is Java. In Java, the complete predefined library was provided in the form of classes and interfaces in packages. Java.lang, Java.io, Java.util, Java.sql. If we want to use a predefined library in Java files, we have to import the packages. To import a package, we have to use the import statement. We have to use what there? Import statement. Examples are given: import java.io.star, import java.util.star, import java.sql.star. If we compile a Java program, then the compiler will perform the following actions. What compiler is able to do there? Compiler will recognize all the import statements. Compiler will take all the package names. Compiler will search these packages are available or not in the Java software. If these packages are not existed, compiler will raise an error. If these packages are existed inside the Java software, compiler will not raise any error, and at the same time compiler will not load any package content to the memory. Got it? Not. In Java, compiler is responsible for checking whether the libraries exist or not, where the compiler is not responsible for loading predefined libraries to the memory. Compiler is only checking whether the libraries are existed or not in the Java software. If the libraries are not available, it will raise an error. If the libraries are available, it will not raise any error. That is the responsibility of the compiler. Compiler is not responsible for loading any library to the memory. Why? Because simple logic, Java is a dynamic programming language. Everything is going on at runtime. Everything is going on at the time of executing our programs. Don't expect the things which are going on at a compilation time. That is not the case for Java. That is in the case of C and C++. Okay, fine. All right, sir. In Java at runtime, JVM will load the required packages to the memory. Here, loading a predefined library at runtime is called as dynamic loading. In Java, preprocessor is not required. Why? Because in Java, header files and hash include statements are not available. Alternatively, in Java, packages import and import statements are available. Alternatively, what are available? Packages and import statements are available. Then after that, Java related diagram I have given. .java, .class. Here from this diagram, we have to recognize one point. If I compile a C program, C compiler will generate .exe files. Similarly, if I compile a Java program, Java compiler will generate what files now? .class files. Only this conclusion we have to remember. Next one is I have given what are the differences between hash include statement and import statement. Hash include statements are exist in C and C++. Import statements exist in Java. Hash include statements are able to include the predefined library which existed in the form of header files. Import statements are able to include the predefined library which exists in the form of classes and interfaces in packages. Hash include statements are evaluated by preprocessor. Import statements are evaluated by both compiler and JVM. Hash include statement supports static loading. Import statement supports dynamic loading. By using single hash include statement, we are able to include only one header file. If we want to include more than one header file, we have to use more than one hash include statement. Right, sir? Hash include std.h, hash include conio.h, and hash include math.h. In Java, by using single import statement, we are able to include more than one class or more than one interface of the same package by using single star notation. Import java.io.star. But here I'm telling one more point. If the classes and interfaces from different packages, not from the same package, from different packages, there we have to write multiple import statements. For example, one class from java.io, another class from java.util, you have to import both the packages. Import java.io.star, import java.util.star. Both are required. Okay, that cases we are going to see in packages. We have separate topic. There we are going to understand that content clearly. Right, so up to this part we completed in the last class. If any of you are new today, don't worry for it. I will take these classes as a backup classes again. There's hardly Java history I completed. Differences between Java and others I am taking no. In the differences between Java and others, two differences are completed. Small differences only that I will take as a backup classes. Don't worry for it. If any of you are missing these two concepts. Meanwhile, Anyway, we are providing video support to all of you every topic, so we can get that videos also. Through that videos also we can check it. Officially, if you're expecting class there, definitely I will take backup class to you at some other time. Okay, let's move on to the punch. All of you understand it clearly. Third difference number 3. It's one of the important difference. Everybody must understand this difference. If you are the fresher, definitely interviewer will ask this question to you. And moreover, throughout the course, I'm going to give some questions and answers in the notes. In the discussion, I'm going to give some questions and answers. When I give a question and answer inside the class, that is damn sure question. Definitely that question will come in our interviews. Like this, throughout our core Java, maybe nearly 80 to 100 number of questions I will talk inside the classes. At least if you prepare that questions, 90% of chances are available to get job, to complete your interview in core Java. Understand my point clearly? So that questions are mandatory. Definitely we are able to get that question in the companies. Okay, now we have to follow that one. As part of it, now this is one of the points here I'm telling to you. Right, what is that important point here I'm telling to you? C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, but Java is a platform independent programming language. Java is a platform independent programming language. C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, but Java is a platform independent programming language. Clear? C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, but Java is a platform independent programming language. Before going to understand C, C++ and Java platform dependent or platform independent, before that, when a programming language is a platform dependent, when a programming language is platform independent, first understand that. After that, we will think about it. C, C++ are platform dependent or not, Java is a platform independent or not, it's a later on. But first of all, when a programming language is platform dependent, when a programming language is platform independent, that we have to understand clearly. Right, sir? Next half an hour, concept is very important. Don't have any deviations, but more concentration. Okay, right, sir. Let's move on to the point now. Platform dependent programming language. If any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation and execution on the same operating system, then that programming language is called a platform dependent programming language. Please read out the definition. Please understand the definition what I have given. If any programming language allows its applications, C is a programming language. We are writing a program or not? That is an application. C++ is a programming language. We are writing a program or not? Java is a programming language. We are writing a program or not? That program, that application to perform compilation and execution, both must be on the same operating system, not on two different operating systems, must be on the same operating system. Then that programming language is a platform dependent programming language. Clear? All of you are clear about this definition? Simple definition. Compilation and execution are two processes we have to do for every program. If both are performed on the same operating system, not on two different operating systems, then that programming language is a platform dependent programming language. Examples for platform dependent programming languages are C, C++ as of now, C and C++. Okay, but my question is, sir, simple we are given a definition and we are given example for them, it's okay, but how C and C++ are platform dependent and how Java is a platform independent? What are the internal reasons that I want to know? Right, if you want to know about that internal content, I'll give one small representation. Try to understand this representation clearly. Everybody put more concentration here. For example, as per the definition, first of all, I'm preparing a diagram. This is .C program. C program. Next one. Here we have to compile this program. We know already for what purpose we are performing compilation. To translate our program from high level to low level. All right. So here we have to use like what there compilation. Then we are able to get one file. What file here we are able to get there? .exe file. .exe file. .exe file contains what? I will talk about it later on. Whenever we are getting .exe file, if I give the .exe file to the execution process, here this is exactly execution, but who is performing this execution? C engine is performing execution. When we execute this program, here we are able to get some output. Here we are able to get. What is that output here we are able to get now? All right. As per the program, what we have written. That's okay, clear. Understand it now? We have written C program that we provided to the compilation. Here we are getting .exe file. When we provide this .exe file to the execution C engine, it has to execute it and it has to give some output. Good. As per the definition, here we are getting compilation. For compilation, we have to use one operating system. What operating system? Here I'm using for compilation now Windows operating system. Fine. For execution also, we have to use the operating system. As the C programming language is a platform dependent programming language, here we have to use what operating system now? The same Windows operating system. As we are saying that C is a platform dependent, it allows its applications to perform compilation and execution on the same operating system. That's why for compilation and execution we are using the same Windows operating system. Okay, this is as per the definition. But for our discussion point of view, to prove C programming language is a platform dependent programming language, for our discussion, next 2 minutes of time, I don't want to take Windows for execution. For compilation, I want to take Windows only, but for execution, I want to take Linux operating system. Just it is only for the sake of our discussion. It's only for the sake of our discussion. That's it. For compilation, we are using Windows. For execution, we are using what there? Linux operating system. Clear to all of you know? All right. Let's understand the point now. All of you observe carefully. C program I have taken. I'm compiling my C program on which operating system? Windows operating system. What this C compiler is able to do? What C compiler is able to do? No, C compiler is able to generate .exe file. Is able to generate what there? .exe file. 1 minute. This .exe file contains what? That point we have to understand. The .exe file contains what? What is this .exe file? Actually, what it is having. If we come for this point, answer is very clear. Try to understand it now. Everybody understand it clearly. .exe file contains directly executable code. .exe file contains directly executable code, and it is having the local operating system representations, that is Windows representations. Please remember this point here. Recognize my statement, what I am giving now. Everybody, please read out the points now. .exe file contains directly executable code. It is not any intermediate code. The name itself is giving .exe executable code. Clear? And what is its specific nature? It is having the local operating system representations. Here we need to understand one fundamental point. What is that fundamental point? No, from operating system to operating system, internal data representation, internal conventions, the rules and regulations are varied. Don't expect the same data representation in every operating system. Understand my point clearly? From operating system to operating system, internal data representation is varied. It's a different representation, and some conventions are also a bit different from one operating system to another operating system. Got my point or not? Point number one. So this .exe file is having a local operating system representations where we compiled our C program. And which operating system? We compiled our C program on Windows operating system. So this .exe file contains what representations? No, Windows representations. All right, sir. Now this is the point about our .exe file. Okay, 2 minutes of time. Keep aside this .exe file. Okay. Coming to this C engine and its execution, observe carefully. Forget about this compilation. 2 minutes of time. That's it. Please come. All right. Now tell me, in general, who is executing our C program? Who is executing our C program? C engine. Now tell me, in this context, in this instance, C engine was installed on the top of what operating system? Linux operating system. C engine is available on the top of Linux operating system. So what is the status of this C engine here in this case now? What is the status of C engine in this case now? Observe carefully. It is able to execute. It is able to execute only Linux representations. It is able to understand and it is able to execute only Linux representations. Why? Because C engine is on Linux operating system. C engine is on what? Linux operating system. Understand my point here now? Okay, fine. Now coming to this one. Now tell me, we compiled our C program on which operating system? Windows. We got .exe file as per which representations? No, Windows representations. Now my C engine is on what operating system? Linux. My C engine is able to execute what representations? Linux representations in this context, if I give Windows represented .exe file to the C engine which is on Linux operating system, is it possible for C engine to understand Windows representations and to execute Windows representations? No. Understand my question? For example, one Marathi person is standing here. If a Tamil person is coming here, if he is speaking in Tamil, is it possible for him to understand Tamil? Not possible. Yes, please come. Okay, what's your name? Rajinikanth, superstar. Fine, good. Rajinikanth only, right? Okay, nice. Yeah, please, I'm requesting to everybody. Here, friendly environment, no restrictions, nothing else, no such kind of formalities. Whenever you are coming inside the classes now, just directly you can come inside the class. No need to take any permission. Okay, understand it now. But only one condition. You can come at any point of time in my classes there. Even just before completing my class, 5 minutes before, if you want to come and sit inside the class, you can come. Always welcome. Inside the classes, always welcome. But you don't have any rights to live in the middle of the class. Up to at the end of the class only, we have to live. Got it or not? Good, sir. That's okay, fine. Why? Because no formalities. Even good morning is also not required. I said to you a number of times. I have given information there in our classes now. What is the problem with good morning? Unfortunately, some people are saying that at morning time, sir, good evening, sir. At evening time, people are saying that good morning, sir. What is the requirement of sir? When I find you, that means when you find me in outside, just give a smile. That's enough. Yeah, I will give smile. There itself, we are getting a lot of meaning. Understand it here. No good mornings, nothing else, no formalities. Come inside the class, understand the content at any point of time. Understand it clearly what I'm telling there. Bro, no formalities. Tomorrow onwards, don't ask any permission, come inside the class now. Right? Right, sir. Rajinikanth, getting my point now. It should be like that Rajinikanth in Java at the end of the course. Okay? Fine. More to the point here. So, what is the point here we understood up to now? I given one question clearly. What was that question here? I compiled my C program on Windows operating system. We got Windows represented.exe file. If I give the .exe file, that is Windows represented.exe file to the C engine, which is on Linux operating system, is it possible for C engine to understand and execute Windows represented.exe file? Not possible. Why? Because it should require what operating system representations? Linux representations. But we are providing what representations? Windows representations. Here some mismatch is available or not? One mismatch is identified or not, but incompatibility is available or not? Because of this reason, this program is not going to be executed. Because of this reason, this program is not going to be executed. Got or not? Okay, but if you want to execute this program, what we have to do? If you want to execute this program, what we have to do? Two options are available. Option number one, fix Linux is for our execution. So change compilation operating system from Windows to Linux, compile the program, get a Linux based .exe file, give that Linux based .exe file to C engine, which is on Linux operating system. One option. Anyway, we in general we used to fix for compilation operating system, not execution operating system. If it is a case now, if you fix operating system for compilation is Windows now, then what we have to do? Change the operating system at what time? You know, runtime. Whatever it may be, whatever may be the case, same operating system we have to maintain for compilation and execution. So for the sake of your content here, what I'm telling now, just remove this Linux operating system here. You have to provide the same Windows operating system at a runtime. Now tell me, if a C engine is on Windows operating system, it is able to understand what operating system representations can now tell me. It is able to understand only Windows representations. All right, so now understand the point clearly. C program I compiled on Windows represented.exe file we are getting. We are giving Windows represented.exe file to what operating system? That means what engine? C engine, which is on which operating system? Windows operating system. So it can understand only Windows representations. Here also we provided the same Windows representations. So we provided Windows representations. C engine is also expecting the same Windows representations. So finally in both the cases, we are getting some compatibility or not. Now here we are getting compatibility or not. Our provided content and our received content, that means required content, both are same operating system related or not. So now C program will be executed comfortably. C program will be executed. There we are able to get what their outputs. So this is what exactly the meaning of like what there C, and it's a platform dependency nature. This is the meaning of C, and it's a platform dependency nature. The same thing we can expect in the case of C++. The same thing we can expect in the case of what there C++. C and C++ are what there platform dependent programming languages. Conceptually understood, but little bit statements I want to write, try to understand it clearly. All right, sir. Now, if we compile C and C++ applications on Windows operating system, then the compiler will generate .exe file contains directly executable code, and it is following the same Windows operating system or representations. Good. In this case, to execute Windows represented .exe file, we must use the same Windows operating system for execution. We must use the same Windows operating system for execution. So this dependency is called platform dependency. This dependency is called as what? The platform dependency. Here, the C and the C++ programming languages are platform dependent programming languages. Understand the context? Almost all I am representing the same what we understood clearly. If we compile C and C++ applications on Windows operating system, then the compiler will generate a .exe file contains directly executable code, and it is following the same Windows operating system representations. In this case, to execute Windows represented .exe file, we must use the same Windows operating system for execution. This dependency is called platform dependency. Here the C and C++ programming languages are what there platform dependent programming languages. This is all about like what there platform dependency concept, about like what there C and C++. Okay, fine. Now the approach is, first of all, I've given definition for platform dependent programming languages. Examples I've given. How C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages. That point we understood now. Now let's move on to the point here. How Java is a platform independent programming language. How Java is a platform independent programming language. This is our required concept. This topic is our required point. How Java is platform independent programming language. That is what we require clearly. Are you getting it or not? Now understand it clearly. First of all, what is a platform independent programming language? Quite opposite to definition of the platform dependent. The quite opposite definition of the platform dependent, that is what their platform independent programming language. What is this platform independent programming language here? Understand clearly? If any programming language allows its applications to perform, now tell me sir, to perform compilation and execution on the same operating system, then that programming language is platform dependent programming language in general. Same operating system, platform dependent programming language. But if any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation is on one operating system and execution is on another operating system. Understand my point here? Compilation is on one operating system, Execution engine is on another operating system. Then that programming language, another operating system. Then the programming language is called a platform independent programming language. Then the programming language is what? The platform independent programming language. Again, understand the point here what I've given there. If any programming language allows its applications to perform, compilation is on one operating system and execution is on another operating system, then that programming language is called a platform independent programming language. Is it all of you are getting definition clear or not? Put concentration here. This is our required information. We are not intended for C and C++. Here we are intended for Java. Java points we must understand. C and C++ is a bit not understanding, nothing is going to be happen. But Java point we have to understand bit to bit, point to point. Right, put concentration over this statement now. If any programming language allows its applications to perform, compilation is on one operating system and execution is on another operating system, then that programming language is called a platform independent programming language. Examples are Java, next one is what? The Python and so on. Nowadays, every programming language is platform independent. Got my point or not? Okay, fine. But how Java is a platform independent programming language? How can we say Java is a platform independent programming language? What are the reasons internally? Okay, first of all, let me prepare a diagram. Through the diagram, I want to talk about the content here, no, right? Now let me prepare some other diagram here, try to understand it clearly. Fine. First of all, I want to take a Java file. This is my .java file. File names are not giving. File names I'm not giving. Just directly I'm saying that .java file. So it's a Java file only. That's okay, fine. Whenever we have written Java program, then we have to compile the program or not? Definitely we have to compile the program. So we must compile. This is nothing but what the compilation. Okay, now okay, compilation. When we compile a Java program, automatically here we are able to get a file. What file here we are able to get in Java? In the case of C and C++, .exe file. But in the case of Java, what files here we are able to get? No, .class file. Already we understood that. .class file here we are getting. First of all, as per the definition, I'm preparing diagram. We want to compile our program in one operating system. The same program we want to execute in multiple operating system, different operating systems. See this one. I want to perform this execution in multiple times but in a different operating systems. All right, sir. Now here, one time I want to perform here execution. This is execution. Now here we are able to get some output here. Execution, and here we are able to get some output. And here we are able to get like what there some output. For a compilation we have to use one operating system, but for execution also we have to use one operating system. What operating system we are going to use, that I will decide, don't worry. Now this is one time execution. This is one time execution. This is second time execution. This is third time execution. This is fourth time execution. Okay. Now tell me, here the diagram is giving much clarity. Compilation is going on only one time, one operating system, but execution is going on almost 4 times. Okay, fine. I want to confirm the operating systems. Compilation is going on Windows operating system. Execution is going on Linux operating system. At other time, Solaris operating system. At other time, Mac operating system. Apple, Mac. Next one is what there? The same Windows operating system here I'm taking. Again, intentional I'm taking Windows here. There is a proper reason for it. Okay. This is clearly the point here what I'm telling to you. Observe carefully. Java program compilation is on Windows operating system, but the same program we are trying to execute on multiple operating systems. One is on Linux, another one is on Solaris, another one on Mac, another one is what there on Windows operating system. Then what is going to be happen? Try to understand it clearly. What exactly the work is going on here? Now try to understand it clearly. For example, when we compile program on Windows operating system, in the case of C and C++, .exe files are generated. The .exe file contains directly executable code and having the same local operating system representations like Windows representations. Clear? Now understand the point here. Now understand the point now. In the case of Java, when we compile Java file on Windows operating system, here compiler will generate .class files. .class files. Then what is the nature of this .class file? What exactly the nature of the .class file? Observe carefully. Here I'm going to give some points. Try to understand it clearly. In Java, .class files contains bytecode. Direct point. .class files contains what code? You know, bytecode. What is this bytecode actually? It is not a direct executable code. It is not a direct execute. It is not directly executable code. It is not directly executable code. Okay, if it is not directly executable code, then what is this code? It is an intermediate code. As most of the people are not aware about this point, but I'm telling to you, it is an intermediate code. It is not directly executable code. It is an intermediate code. It is not a source code that what we have written. It is not directly executable code. What JVM is required, what execution is required. But in between that, some intermediate code it is. Okay, fine. It is not directly executable code. It is an intermediate code. After understanding this point, what next one here? All of you observe carefully. It is an intermediate code, and it is not having any operating system representations, including Windows. It's not having any of the operating system representations, including Windows. Is it? Are you getting my point or not? What I'm telling you. So the point is very clear. .class file contains bytecode. It is not directly executable code. It is an intermediate code, and it is not having any operating system representations, including Windows. It's totally an intermediate code. All of you are getting clarity up to now. If you understand up to now, the next part is simple. Right. Next one minute of point, 1 minute of topic is important. Put more concentration. Okay, fine. We got some intermediate code. That's okay, fine. Then what next attempt? No. Next one is what? we have to execute this code on Linux, we have to execute this code on Solaris, we have to execute on Mac, we have to execute this on Windows. But here the point is what? If we want to execute any code on Linux operating system, that code must have Linux representations. If you want to execute any code on Solaris, that code must be Solaris represented code. If you want to execute any code on Mac, that code must be Mac represented code. If you want to execute any code on Windows, then that code must be Windows represented code. Is it? All of you are following my point or not? Of course, that bytecode is the neutral code, that's okay. But if you want to execute this bytecode on Linux, no, that the bytecode must have Linux representations. If you want to execute this neutral bytecode on Solaris, no, that bytecode must be Solaris represented code. If you want to execute this bytecode on Mac, that bytecode must be Mac represented code. If you want to execute this bytecode on Windows, that bytecode must be Windows represented code. But unfortunately here what happened? Here we are getting some neutral code, not representing any of the operating system. If we give this neutral code to the Linux based execution, it will not be executed. Why this execution engine is not executing this code? No, this execution engine is on Linux. This execution engine on Linux, so it is expecting Linux representations. But here we provided what representations? No, neutral representations, no operating system representations. But here we are getting Solaris, we require Solaris representations, but here what we are providing? No, neutral representations we are providing, not Solaris representations. Program will not be executed. Here we required Mac representations, but here we provided what representations? No, neutral representations. Neutral representations, an intermediate code we are providing, not Mac representations, so program will not be executed. Here we require Windows representations, but what we provided here? No, neutral representations, intermediate representation. Still it is not like what other Windows representations. Still my program is not going to be executed. Understand the comedy, understand the point. For compilation we are using what operating system? Windows. For execution also I'm using what operating system? Windows, but still my program is not executed. Why? Because the .exe file, .class file contains what code? Byte code. It is not directly executable code. It is an intermediate code, and it is not having any of the operating system representations. It is a neutral byte code to the operating systems. Even on Windows also, it is not executing now. Almost all similar problem we have seen in C programming language or not? But there directly operating system represented code is there after compilation. But here what code is available? Neutral code. It is not sufficient to run in any of the operating system. That's a problem. Almost the same problem. Got it or not? Exactly. In this particular situation, Sun Microsystem thought of it. If I leave my programming language like this as is, it will not be executed in any of the operating system. So here we have to do something. To execute our program. What something that Sun Microsystems has to do to execute our program here? Just if you put common sense, if we think in that way, one solution easily we can get. What solution here we are able to get there easily? I'm giving idea, understand it now. If we are able to convert the bytecode from neutral nature to the local operating system representations, no, then we can execute the program. Yes, sir. What solution I'm telling there? One Tamil person is standing in front of the Marathi person. Tamil person is speaking in Tamil with Marathi person. Marathi person is expecting the conversation in Marathi, but where communication gap is coming, so conversation is not going on successfully. But if you want to provide proper communication there, if you want to provide proper communication between two members, no, we require one mediator or not? Between Tamil person and Marathi person, Andhra person is required or not? Telugu person is required or not? But of course, Telugu person don't know about both the languages. No, that's a different story. But definitely some mediator is required or not? That mediator can convert the Tamil conversation to Marathi, Marathi conversations to Tamil. Like this, if any person is available like this, now the communication is very smooth. Here also the same situation. Here also the same situation. Neutral code is available. If we are able to convert that neutral code into the local operating system representation, then our program will be executed. Exactly. This is a solution that Sun Microsystems is thinking. And finally, Sun Microsystems has provided some converters. Sun Microsystems has provided for their converters. For what purpose? No, converters are provided here. No, to convert the byte code from neutral representation to the local operating system representations. Yes, sir. All of you get my point or not? Sun Microsystems has provided some converters to convert the byte code from neutral nature to the local operating system representations. Now, exactly, I am providing some point here. Try to understand it clearly. Exactly, in this location, that Sun Microsystems has provided some converters. Sun Microsystems has provided some converters. All right, you only give information to me. All of you observe carefully. Now tell me what this converter is able to do. This converter is able to convert. This converter is able to convert. Converter is able to convert the neutral byte code to which operating system representations? No, Linux representations. Right, sir. What is the job of this particular converter? No, it able to convert the neutral byte code to Solaris operating system representations. All right, sir. Then after this, what this converter is able to do? No, this converter is able to convert the program from neutral byte code nature neutral to MAC representations. So this is another converter. Now, what is the job of this converter here? No, this converter is able to convert the byte code from neutral nature to the Windows representations. Right, sir. Now the point is, if you give neutral byte code to this converter, converting to Linux and executing that Linux code and getting some output. If you give this neutral byte code to this converter, it is converting that byte code from neutral nature to Solaris and executing some Solaris represented code and getting some output. And this byte code is given to this converter. It is converting that neutral byte code MAC representations, executing MAC represented byte code and getting some output. And this converter is able to convert that neutral byte code to the Windows and executing that Windows. Yes, sir. All of you get my point or not? Yeah. Local operating system represented byte code is called native code. Local operating system represented byte code is called as what? There native code. So these converters are converting byte code to native code. These converters are converting byte code to native code. When we got that native code will be given to the execution process. Execution is going to be happen. With the help of the converters, our problem is solved or not? Come on, guys. With the help of these converters, our problem is solved or not? Now we are able to compile Java program on one operating system. We can execute the Java program in multiple operating systems or not? Is totally because of these converters or not? But here the question is, how Sun Microsystems has provided all these converters actually? Where Sun Microsystems has provided all these converters actually? We have to understand this point clearly. Sun Microsystems has provided this conversion mechanism and execution in a single device. Sun Microsystems has provided this conversion mechanism and execution in a single device. Again, here also be in a single device, conversion and execution both are going to be provided. Conversion and execution both are provided in a single device. Here the name of that single device is JVM. That's a conclusion for JVM. Here the name of the component is what there? JVM. Right, so abbreviation for JVM is what there? Java Virtual Machine. Java Virtual Machine. Straightly, I'm asking one question to all of you. Please try to answer for me. What exactly the responsibilities of the JVM? Two responsibilities: converting bytecode to native code, executing native code. Finish. What is the purpose of the JVM? No, two purposes. One is what they're converting bytecode to native code. What is native code? What is bytecode? Bytecode is an intermediate code, not having any operating system representations. If that bytecode is converted to Linux representation, then it's a Linux native code. If we convert that bytecode to Unix representations, Unix native code. If we convert that bytecode to like what representations? No, Mac representations. No, Mac represented native code. Like this, we have to convert the code from bytecode to native code. Got it or not? So this conversion could be done by JVM only. JVM internally has some converter. It will convert the bytecode to native code. That's the point here we have to understand clearly. Got it or not? After that, complete it. No, right. All right, sir. Now this is like what I'm telling to you. The conversion here we have done it. Okay, fine. All right, sir. Converter is required. That could be provided by JVM only. That's okay, nice. I'm asking one question to you. Try to answer for my question now. This is important question. Now try to understand it. How many times here we compile the program? Come on. How many times we compile the program? Only one time. Only one time we compile the program. Nice. How many times we execute the program? Come on. How many times we execute the program? 4 times here we executed our program. Am I right or not? Observe carefully my question now. One time we compile the program, 4 times we executed the program. Am I right or not? Now here my question is, how for 4 times execution, how many JVMs here we have used? For 4 times execution, how many types of JVMs here we have used? Is that only one JVM or 4 JVMs? That's my question. I'm asking this question to you. Here it is only one JVM or 4 JVMs. Okay, later on I will give answer for it now, but what interviewer will ask a question to you? Interviewer will ask a question to you. Now tell me, Java is a platform dependent programming language or platform independent programming language? That's a question. Then immediately you have to give answer is what there? Definitely Java is what there? Platform independent programming language. No second thought. Then immediately we'll ask a question there. Okay, Java is a platform independent programming language. Nice. Now tell me, JVM is what? Platform dependent or platform independent? This question interviewer will ask that. To give answer for it, no, I have to come back my original question. What's my original question I given there? No, one time we compiled our program, but how many times we executed our program? 4 times we execute our program. Am I right or not? Okay, for 4 times execution of our program, how many JVMs are utilized here? Is that one JVM or 4 JVMs? That is the question. Right, sir. Answer for this question is what there? 4 JVMs. Answer for this question is what there? 4 JVMs. Not even 4 JVMs, 4 types of JVMs. I'm telling to you 4 types of JVMs. What's the meaning of these 4 types of JVMs? What's the meaning of these 4 types of JVMs? How can you say 4 JVMs, 4 different types of JVMs? No, I will give that exact answer. Try to understand it clearly. Java is a platform independent programming language, no doubt for that. But JVM is platform dependent. But JVM is what there? Platform dependent. Digest this point now. Java is a platform independent programming language, but JVM is what there? Platform dependent. Yes, sir, got it or not? Okay, interviewer, what is that interviewer question now? Java is a platform independent or platform dependent? Platform independent. What is JVM? JVM is platform dependent or platform independent? Most of the people are thinking like what there? Java is platform independent. Part of the Java only JVM is there. So JVM is also what? Platform independent. People are thinking in this way, but no, JVM is not platform independent. JVM is what there? Platform dependent. Yes, sir. Got it or not? Okay. JVM is a platform dependent. Nice. Java compiler is also be platform dependent. Java compiler is also be platform dependent. Java documentator is also be platform dependent. Is a part of the Java software. Java profiler is also be platform dependent. It is a part of the Java software. Actually, Java software is the collection of tools. Java software is actually the collection of tools. What are the various tools are available? Java compiler, JVM, Java profiler, Java documentator, Java signer, like this. 30 to 35 number of tools are available. This tools combination is nothing but what there? Java software. But all Java internal tools are platform dependent. As these internal tools are dependent, we can conclude that Java software, I'm not telling about Java programming language. Java programming language is different, Java software is different. Java programming language is platform independent, but the Java software and its internal tools are platform dependent. Okay, for our clarity purpose, I'm taking one more example, try to understand it clearly. In this diagram only, no other diagram, in this diagram only. Now tell me, how many computers I have used here? How many computers I have used here? Understand it, one operating system, one computer. How many computers I have used here overall? 5 computers. One is for compilation, 4 is for what there? Execution. Overall 5 computers. Of course, compilation and execution, Windows operating system I am using there, but 2 different systems here I have taken, no issues. Overall 5 computers I have taken. Now tell me, you only tell me, if you want to compile program in computer one, here we require Java software or not? Is it possible to compile any Java program without Java software? Not possible. You have to install one Java software here or not? If you want to execute the Java program in the second computer, there also we require Java software or not? In the third computer also require Java software or not? Fourth, fifth computers also Java software is required or not? At each and every computer, we have to install Java software or not? Yes, sir. At each and every computer, we have to install Java software or not? After installation of the Java software only, we can compile our program, we can execute our program. Am I right or not? Now the point is, 5 computers, 5 Java softwares here we installed. But here the question is, in all 5 computers, what Java softwares we installed? Same Java software or different Java softwares? That's my question. In all 5 computers, same Java software or different Java softwares? No, that's the point. Different Java softwares here we have to install. For compilation, what operating system we have used? Windows operating system we have used. So Windows related Java software only we have to install here. On Windows operating system, you cannot install Linux based Java software. On Windows operating system, we must install Windows based Java software only. Next one, on Linux operating system, what Java software we have to install? Come on, Linux based Java software only. On Solaris operating system, what Java software? Solaris based only. On Mac operating system, what Java software? Mac represented Java software only. And again on Windows operating system, what Java software? Windows related Java software only. If it is a case, no, Java software is a platform dependent or platform independent? Come on, platform dependent, but Java program is what? Java program, I have written a program. That program is what? Platform independent. Our written program is platform independent, but Java software is what there? Platform dependent. So these are the minute points. We have to understand these points now. As we are going to learn Java programming language, the points must be very much clear. Java programming language is platform independent because of JVMs only. If no JVM, no chances of talking platform independent nature for Java programming language. Java is a platform independent programming language because of JVMs only. But JVM is a platform dependent. Not only JVM. Not only JVM, the total Java software is what their platform dependent. In this example, 5 computers here we have taken. So 5 operating systems we are using. So 5 different types of Java software here we installed. Then only we are performing compilation is on one mission and execution is on what there another mission. So here we require to install 5 different softwares. It means that Java programming language is platform independent, but Java software is what there platform dependent. I'll give one more proof how we can say Java software is a platform dependent. No, all of you observe carefully. All of you understand it. I want to download Java software. I want to download Java software. So I will go with what there Google. There I want to go for what there Java software download. I want to go for it. All right, sir. Now here I want to download Java software. That's okay, fine. Here I want to download from Oracle website. Java downloads. It's okay, fine. Right. You may get confusion. I want to go with Java 8 version. Java 8 download. Just I want to use that. Try to understand it clearly. Java 8 download. Okay, simple, very simple. All right, sir. Now all of you observe carefully. If I want to download the Java software, I'm giving clarity. First, we have to understand what is your operating system. With respect to our operating system only, we have to download the Java software. Our local operating system related Java software only we have to download. Now let me check this one here. What is my local operating system? Windows 10. Okay, now how operating systems are provided for download? Now observe carefully. Now these are like what there here operating system. These are the download links. Am I right or not? These are like what there Linux represented. All these are what there Linux represented. These are the links. But what this one this operating system is what there Mac. For Mac, this is the related Java software link. And these are like what their Solaris operating system related links are provided. Now these are like what their last Windows. Now here what we are getting there Windows related things. Now simple question, if we thought Java software is a platform independent, then why Oracle people are giving these many links as per the operating systems? Why they are not providing single link for all the operating systems? Yes, sir. All of you are getting it or not? They are given the Java software's download with respect to the operating systems or not? So what is the meaning of it now? From one operating system to another operating system, a different Java software they have to provide or not? They are providing a different Java software or not? Just understand the point here. For example, if we click on this link, if we click on this particular link, for example, if we click on this link, Windows related Java software will be downloaded. That will be executed on Windows operating system only. That will be installed Windows operating system only. It will not be installed on Linux operating system. For example, if we click on this link now, it is able to download only Solaris represented Java software only. It will not be installed on Windows. It will not be installed on Linux operating system. If we click on this link now, Linux based Java software will be downloaded. It will be installed on what operating system? Linux only. It will not sit on the top of a Windows operating system. It will not sit on the top of the Solaris operating system. Even at least by seeing this, we have to understand the point. What is the point here I'm telling there? Now tell me, Java is a programming language which is platform independent programming language, but JVM is what? JVM is what? Platform independent. Not only JVM, the total Java software is what? Platform dependent. Java programming language is independent, but Java software is what there? Platform independent programming, platform independent tool. Yes, sir. Platform dependent. Java software is platform dependent, but Java programming language is what there? Platform independent. Yes, sir. All of you get my point or not? Right, sir. Now let me take this diagram here. Then after that, I will give the point. No. See, this type of points you have to remember as you want to become as a Java developer. Without knowing this much of awareness, no, we are unable to understand Java properly. They are the clear-cut conclusions we must have there clearly. Okay, fine. All right, sir. Now, okay, the diagram I have given there. First of all, I have given some definition here. If any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation is on one operating system and execution is on another operating system, then that programming language is called a platform independent programming language. Examples are like what there? Java, Python. Okay, some content here I've given. Now let me give two more points here. What are the 2 points here? No, if we compile a Java program in a Windows operating system, then the compiler will generate dot class files where the generated dot class files contains bytecode, where the generated dot class files contains what code here? Bytecode, where the bytecode is not the directly executable code, where the bytecode is not the directly executable code, it is an intermediate code. It's an intermediate code. Okay, and it is not representing any of the operating system representations, including Windows, including what there? Windows. Right, sir. In this context, if you want to execute bytecode in any operating system, then that bytecode must have the local operating system. Then that bytecode must have the local operating system representations. Then that bytecode must have the local operating system representations. Answer my point. Good. Right. In the above context, to execute Java applications on multiple operating systems and to make Java as a platform independent programming language, Sun Microsystems has provided a set of converters. Sun Microsystems has provided a set of converters to convert the bytecode from its neutral nature to the local operating system representations. Right, sir? Local operating system representations, that is native code. That code is what there? Native code. Right, sir. Next point here. Answer my point here. In the above context, Sun Microsystems has provided converters and execution process. Sun Microsystems has provided the converters, and the execution process in a single component called JVM. All right, so now this is what the Java virtual machine. Right, so this is a point here I'm telling you. Now the conclusion I'm telling you, observe carefully. Java is a platform independent programming language. Java is a platform independent programming language because of JVMs only. But JVM is a platform dependent component. JVM is a dependent component, platform dependent component. Next, one more point here I'm telling there. Right, sir. The complete JVM, complete Java software is a platform dependent. Complete Java software is what there? Platform dependent. Observe carefully. Platform dependent. That's it. Yes, sir. All of you are getting it or not? The complete Java software is platform dependent, but Java programming language is platform independent. That's it. So these are the various points here we understood clearly. So the diagram, if you understand this diagram, easily we can understand what exactly the points here I've discussed clearly. Next, apart from this, what is the next point here I'm telling there? One important interview question is available with us. That important interview question is like what there? What are the differences between .exe file and .class file? This is one of the interview question in outside. Definitely at fresher level, we are able to get this interview question. So answer for this question, we are going to see on tomorrow. Answer for this question, I'm going to discuss there on tomorrow, but please try to remember the content clearly. Okay. And one small intimation, I think so I'm giving right from day one onwards. Up to few classes on I'm going to take at 8:30 to 10 o'clock. Maybe after that, I'm going to take your classes at what time? 10 o'clock. 10 to 11:30 is an official time for this batch. Up to few classes on I'm going to take at 8:30 to 10 o'clock. Afterwards, I will take our classes at 10 to 11:30. Okay, oops onwards, oops topics onwards, I'm going to take your class at 10 to 11:30. Due to somewhat busy schedule, I'm taking demo classes here 8:30 to 10. Please recognize this point clearly. Okay, right, sir. That's all for today. Then tomorrow we'll see, and tomorrow we'll see the remaining content. Thank you. Thanks a lot.